double click a line and it wipes it, takes the whole line. It's insensitive.
Well, and it's, I don't have my glasses on here, so
No.
I'm doing this semi-blind at this distance. And I go to Firefox.
You can use that one if you want.
And it's thinking.
Okay, outstanding, thank you. All right, so you've got your power out. Right here, you plug in the watts, that's that power out that you just saw.
82.47.
I guess I better put there we go. 82 watts. I'm going to use their default for single sideband, but if you don't use it, you've got all these others to pick from. I'm going to take their default for the duty cycle. The antenna gain is right here. You simply look up your antenna, half-wave dipole 2.2, so I'm going to use that. You would plug in your actual numbers.
Look,
2.2. The frequency, I'm going to use just whatever frequency, and we'll start out with the 80. Oop. That was not a good choice. 80. I want the biggest penalty I can pay, so I'm going to include the ground effects.
You want that 80 megahertz?
Yes.
Okay. 80 megahertz.
Oh,
3.5 megahertz.
yeah. I'll take 3.8.
80 meter.
Then when you calculate it, it gives you the controlled environment density, the safe distance, and the uncontrolled power density and safe distance. And that is all there is to it, because when you go back to your little spreadsheet here, when I first started, this was all blank. I put my bands, I picked my frequency. That first website, it gave me that for that coax and that frequency. It gave me my power out. Then I took my antenna gain. One was 1.1, 2.1, and 4.2. Plugged those numbers in, and it gave me the power gain and the distance. And that's it. It took me 30 minutes to do that whole chart. If you've got much less stuff, it would take it even longer. If you add an antenna in the future, I'll just come out here and it'll take me 5 minutes, because I just go to those two websites, plug in the numbers that I know, take all the defaults, because I want to pay the biggest penalty I can. And then I'm done. It goes in my log, and FCC, if they were ever to come, which they won't, I've got it. Any questions?
What's the farthest distance that you have?
The-
The safest, the farthest safe distance, the longest safe distance that you have. Some of them's like 3 feet or 2 feet.
It's by band and power and mode.
I'm at.
Yeah, but which is longest on your?
What's the farthest?
Let's see.
Looks like 3.7 for 10 meter, 70, 100
It would
watts.
be uncontrolled.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
3.7, far right column.
Yeah, down here.
So how far do we stay from your house around here?
If you're within 10 feet of the radiating element,
You're in trouble.
Okay?
pretty much.
You gotta do it according to the rules. Will you ever be checked? It isn't gonna happen. But you're done, you're one and done, And if you go read Bulletin 65, I guarantee you'll give up ham radio. Because there's not 3 people on the face of the planet that can read, this is how this was developed from Bulletin 65, and it's indecipherable. It's 100 pages of Fourier transform. So unless you're a Bill back there who lives and breathes Fourier transform calculus, you can't get through it.
So can I summarize for you?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, you have to have this chart stored somewhere on your station where you have your main transmitters and stuff. It's required by FCC rules. The 2 links where this information is available will be sent out to the club. Tom will do it as our public information officer. If you have any questions about this, email either myself or Terry, and we can walk you through it.
Question, you gotta have it showing in your shack, or could it be put in?
Has to be
the same-
available if requested.
Pardon?
FCC says upon request.
Yeah, well, I didn't know.
No, that's the answer.
Larry,
Upon request.
I have a book that I call my station log, and it's all kinds of just stuff. And it's just 1 page in there.
I was just quoting.
Yeah. So like for mine, I have a copy of my operator's license, a copy of my wife's operator's license, copy of those calculations in there, and a description of what my antennas and
Where's
my
the
radios
menu?
are. You should have that for your ham shack.